Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tribal Trades, the daily show coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And I do want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for watching. Today, we're going to ask the question, is this an amazing opportunity to buy? Before we do that, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people, does help support the channel, as does your wonderful comments. Thank you so much. And of course, those who ask questions, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. However, if you want more immediate engagement and response from me, you can find me in the Discords. Where are they located? You can find information in the description of this video. You just need to click the more button that will pop out. The Tribal Trades Discord is closed, but there is a wait list you can get on just by emailing there. And of course, the Stocks with Josh Discord. I'm in there daily with my Crowned Traders channel, where I have education, insights, and resources, some of my trade setups, and of course, entertainment, because this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? Okay, so let's first of all look at a little bit of news that is out there. The tariff war continues, as we see there. And of course, April 2nd, I think, is the date that is looming for decision day on that. However, we did get some good news yesterday with the February CPI inflation falling to 2.8%, below expectations of 2.9%. CPI also fell, and this marks the first decline in both headline and core CPI since July 2024. We should have seen more of a pump, but not for the tariffs, and the market wants to see some rate cuts. Will we get a rate cut next week, Wednesday, the FOMC decision there? In your minds, will this change? And of course, we've got PPI today coming up very soon, very soon. Probably would have already happened by the time you watch this video. The expectation is for this to come down. As you can see here, PPI is expected to come down lower to 0.3. Previous was 0.4%. So that will be interesting to see if that drops in line with expectation. And maybe the Fed, there is a chance, a small chance, that they might cut some rates coming up here in March. We'll see what happens. Now, Bitcoin has a little bit of a short-term reversal pattern, and I shared this in the Discord yesterday for a inverse head and shoulders there. I believe that's on the 4-hour time frame. We'll look at that in a moment. So some interesting things there. So let's jump over to the Bitcoin price and see, is now is an amazing time to buy. Will we look back at this time and see this was an incredible opportunity that was missed out on? Well, not for me, because I picked up Bitcoin at these three levels: the 200 EMA on the daily, the 200-day moving average, and the 50 EMA on the weekly. And I have more buy orders down here at the 50-week moving average, and even down to around that lower area of around $73,000 there, which was the previous all-time high area from March of 2024. Okay, so is this an amazing opportunity to buy the dip? Well, we can see here on the weekly RSI, when this has reached this 44 level, which is at right now, generally has been a good time to buy the dip. It has, as you can see here, when it reached that 44 level, where was Bitcoin? All the way down here at around 50 odd, and we saw that there. And again, over here, it reached around that low 40s. So that 44, that's a good area to kind of mark out for Bitcoin. And then obviously we saw some parabolic rise here. However, when we have come down again, there you go. There's that 44 level for Bitcoin. I don't know what it is about 44, but the price was down here around $25,000. So the last time we came down to these levels turned out to be very, very, very good buy the dip opportunities. You could probably pop a little trend line there at 44. So is this an amazing time to buy the dip for Bitcoin? What do you think? I would like to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Now, remember, historically, when we've lost this 50-week moving average, had some wicks below or closes below it in a bull market, like an April of 2021 drop, It's not until it's been okay and Bitcoin recovered from 28,000 all the way to 69,000 about 7 months later in November. It was only until there was a full candle open and close below this level that the bull market was over. I get this question asked more than anything else: is the bull market over? And so this is why I feel this could be an amazing buy the dip opportunity. Now, of course, if we do have that full candle open and close below there, then we do have to seriously consider that the bull market may possibly be at an end, or more likely be at an end in that scenario. We'll cross that bridge if and when we get to it, of course. Okay, so these are some of the areas to the upside. We really do need to get above the 200-day moving average. And by the way, those last two times that I just referenced back there when Bitcoin was around 50,000 and around in the 20,000s, we did stay down there around that 44 RSI area for anywhere between 5 to about 10 weeks. Now, we've only been down here just for 1, maybe 2 weeks. So it's quite possible we're down in these levels here for another 3 to 7 weeks. Somewhere in that gap, we got that 5. We don't have much data on that, but there's about 5 and 10 weeks were those times that Bitcoin were down in those areas. And so we've only been down there for a little bit of time. So, and also remember, when we had the April dump, it didn't actually get back to the price in April 2021 that it dropped down from 65. It didn't get back to 65,000 until October. Okay, but remember, there's a lot of parabolic upside from that July timeframe through September, a little bit of a dump, and then some more parabolic for November. It was mostly the alts that really recovered. But when you think Bitcoin from 28 to 69, it was only those who really bought the dip that enjoyed that rip. Okay, so that's something to keep into consideration, that Bitcoin from April 2021 took 2 months to get down to its bottom in June of 2021. And then really didn't start to move and went sideways for about a month, and then didn't pop off until July, a short dip in September before topping out in November. And so if we look at the January 2021 top as possibly being the new April, if we were to go down for 2 months, that would take us through until where we are here in March, around March 20th. Around that time, and then sideways through to April, and then maybe we fly for a month to May, sell in May, go away, and then we get some rate cuts in June to then see the final part of the bull run there. That is something that quite possibly, but there are some bullish catalysts there. We haven't seen inflation drop, both of those core and CPI, and we haven't seen that since 2024. So that is significant there, okay? And of course, if we do see a shock rate cut, that is going to, I believe, send the markets up. That's going to be next week on Wednesday. Okay, so keep an eye out for that. Otherwise, the next rate cuts decision may not come till May or June. So it could be a lot of sideways chop, tariff war. And this is a very news-driven cycle, by the way. So if anybody tells you, oh, you know, Bitcoin's definitely going here or definitely going there, nobody has a crystal ball. Nobody knows the future. They're just purely speculating and guessing, and maybe somebody will get it right. I like to trade in probabilities. What is the higher probability? For me, the higher probability is if we stay above the 50-week moving average, currently around 75,700, that we are most likely still in a bull run. If we have a full candle open and close below that, we are mostly likely not. No definites, but most likely not. So those, and if you trade the probabilities, if you trade the higher probabilities, the higher chance you have of winning. If you trade the highest percentages, the more times that you're going to get it right. And this is what you need to understand in trading, that if this happens, then that, and if this happens, then that, how you respond to the different situations in the market. So if we drop below that level, then it's more likely we're in a bear market. If we stay above this level, we're more likely in a bull market there, trading the probabilities. So the 200-day moving average is sitting there at about 83,600. We got the 200 EMA on the daily, 85,700. Remember, we've gone over the 200 EMA on the daily before. The last times that this was hit was way back when Bitcoin was 60, and then it was hit at 50, and then down at 20. Again, in a bull market, when the 200 EMA, usually the price doesn't go very far from it, and doesn't stay below it for too long, maybe only a number of weeks or months. And we could actually look at to go back there and see the last time we were under the 200 EMA on the daily there. If we go back and have a look and how long we were below price, oh my goodness, we've gone back way too far there in our little time machine here. We've got to click to the daily and did my little time machine to save you some time there. So the last time we were under it was back around July for a little while. We didn't stay below it for very long, just 10 days. Over here again in August dip, we were below it, well, on and off. We were below it for around 20 days there, but there was a period of time we were above it, so maybe only 2 weeks. Didn't go very far. You can see how we came down and touched the 50-week moving average here once and twice, but didn't go below it, didn't have a close below it, let alone a candle open and close below it. Very, very important there that you see how dangerously close we were back then of losing the bull run. This is why I'm not fearful right now, okay? And then you see again here in September, we were below it again from about the end of August. This was a lot longer here to the middle of September. So no more than about 3 weeks. So anywhere between about 2 to 3 weeks. And the last time that we touched it there was 60,000. So you saw all this opportunity that we had to buy. And so this is why the 200 EMA on the daily has tended to be good buy the dip kind of areas or situations there. And so let's go back to the last time, even previous to that, it was below. Here we go here. And boy, this would have been a good time. Same kind of scenario from around that August there. There's a couple of weeks that it's below. It went up, then it went below from August through to around about October. So this is the longest time period of time that we saw it below. But again, it didn't go far from it and really didn't stay below it too long. August to October there, just a couple of months. That's about the longest period that we saw there. And then previous to that, again, we just saw it touch there. That would have been a great opportunity to buy the dip. And then we're kind of coming back to the beginning of where the bull run started back in January and how this would have again been a good time to buy the dip there in March of 2023. It didn't stay below it very long, only a matter of 10 days. And so this is why I think that this could be a good opportunity if we still are in a bull run, and I do believe we still are in a bull run. Okay, I do not believe that we're in a bear market at this time. I still do believe we are in a bull run, that it could be an amazing opportunity to buy. As you saw back when I was showing you how that back when Bitcoin came down quite low and we hit the 200 EMA on the daily back around that July, August, September time, that we actually came down and tagged the 50 EMA on the weekly, and we haven't done that yet, and I actually do think we will. I would be surprised if we didn't. I think the probability is higher that we do because we keep setting lower highs and lower lows. And so I do think the probability is that we do come down and tag that we do come down and wick below it, maybe even have a couple of little candle closes, because I think there is a more bearish environment than when Bitcoin was back in that July, August, September reaccumulation phase of the bull run. And so that's my thoughts on that. So if you think the pain is over, there may be a little bit more pain to come. But again, until we see that full candle open and close below there, that was where I would probably flip from bullish to bearish. And I would probably be from buy the dip to stop loss out and wait for Bitcoin to get down to that 40, 50K region, maybe even the low to mid 60s. We could see a lot more to the downside. Let's look at the yellow brick road. We're going to follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. And let's jump to the 6-month time frame right away. And this is what we're talking about here. You see all this liquidity down here at 73, 74,000, billions and billions of dollars. There is billions of dollars to the upside at 100K. It is starting to accumulate. And I do think at some point we are going to see 100K retested. It's whether or not we come down and get this first down at 73, 74, 75, or possibly even lower down at the 66 if we have that big wick down there to come and flush out this area. There is a lot down there in those mid to lower 60s or whether we just come and get that before sending it back up to 100K. And then there is a lot up there at 108, 109K, $108,000 level there. Just on the shorter time frame, if we drop to a week, we're going to see more liquidity above price. You can see a huge amount of liquidity from 85 all the way up to 90 there. So I do expect a retest of 90. And then even on the 48-hour time frame, we're going to see that there is liquidity to the downside. And this is what happens on the shorter term time frame. People are going long. They see all that liquidity on the longer time frames, and they just get wiped out, and then the market makers sends it up. So you can see that there is a fair amount of liquidity down to those 80s, 79, and down to 78,000 down there. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if we came down to the 50-week moving average, maybe went above it, flush all. That's what I would do if I was the market maker. I'd flush all that liquidity out to the downside in that mid-70s region, mid to low 70s region, and then I would be sending it up to at least 100K there. All right, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, until the next episode or until I see you in the Discord, happy trading.